Thanks for joining me once again. Today we have part 4 of a 4-part series from Surviving Infidelity. It's a continuation of the first part called, My Wife Cheated on Me During Quarantine. This one is called, Update on How Things Are Going. As always, spelling and grammar mistakes courtesy of Reddit. Lol. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps this channel grow. Thank you. Part 4 of 4, Update on How Things Are Going. I'm going to do my best to keep this short. There has been a lot of updates since I wrote part 3, but I really want to focus, not on the mistakes I've made the last couple of weeks, spoiler, there were many, but the positive things I've been doing and that have happened. Before I get started though, I do want to address a couple of things. I've read every single comment here on Reddit and even all of the YouTube comments since my saga is apparently spreading outward a little. The vast majority of the people who have commented have been incredibly empathetic, supportive, and helpful. I am forever grateful for your kindness. There have been a handful who have made fairly negative comments toward me. I don't think they're intentionally trying to crap all over me, but they see flaws in my personality and character that I thought I would address here. I don't necessarily disagree with the comments I've received that I'm a beta male, a doormat, desperate, a wuss, or another descriptive word you want to add. I have been. I've also been something that a lot of men are not comfortable being. Open, honest, and incredibly vulnerable to all of the strangers of the internet. But here's what people do not realize. That's not my character outside of my family. That's not who I am. The reason people are seeing these things they're describing of me is that I have full-heartedly devoted my entire existence to my family. To my wife. To my children. They are literally my lifeblood. They're the reason I get up in the morning. They're the reason I remember to breathe. They're the reason that I'm not a complete piece of shite. When I caught my wife cheating, my entire reason for existing came crumbling down around me in real time. It destroyed my identity. The pain from my first marriage started to bubble to the surface. The fears of how my children were going to cope for the next 10 to 15 years scared me. The fears of how I was going to survive financially and emotionally overwhelmed me. Were my boys going to wind up wanting to leave me as my daughter wanted? I'm one of the most loyal and loving husbands you could ask for, despite my issues. My wife knows how much I loved her and how much I would have done anything to make her happy. Despite my past anger issues, I am exactly the type of husband any person would want. These last 34 days have been hard, and I have not handled it well. I don't think anyone could handle it well, and for anyone to sit on the sidelines and pass judgment without the full story is interesting. I'm not hurt or offended by the words people used. I actually appreciate it. But I wanted to provide my take. It's really easy for people to see the red flags after everything has come crumbling down. It's not always easy to see them at the moment. I saw a lot of red flags in my first marriage up front, but there is a lot that I didn't recognize until the end. So, with that out of the way, how am I doing? I think considering everything I'm doing all right. My stomach has been completely wrecked. My body will not allow me to eat more than one meal a day. I try to make them small meals throughout the day, but it's not happening. I get sick and start to vomit if I try to eat when my body isn't ready. I also paid for a 6-month membership to Crossfit. I've always loved Crossfit from before I entered this relationship, and I want to get back to my origins. I was to get back down to 220 pounds. For my body type, this is very thin. As of today, I am officially down 30 pounds exactly in 34 days. 17 of those pounds came in the first 7 days because I physically couldn't eat a single thing. Divorce diets are real, y'all. I'm now 81 pounds away from my goal. I've already achieved 1/4 of my goal and it feels pretty good. It's my birthday today and I turned 40. My body is absolutely upset with me for all of this activity, lol. I've been seeing the chiropractor and icing the hell out of my body. My wife moved out of the house last week. One of the toughest things I've been noticing is that since I was such a loyal and loving husband that I'm finding it very hard to not be supportive of her. I've been playing some mind games with her and I really don't think it's fair, even though she's played some mind games with me. I'm constantly having bad days where I just want to make sure she suffers emotionally like I am. I bought a self-help book called Attachments that I'm really enjoying reading. It's really helping me see what type of person I am and what type of person I can become. Someone from Reddit also recommended I pick up After the Tears, which I'm considering. It looks fascinating and it almost feels as if it was written precisely for me. I've also been hiking. I bought some hiking boots and y'all, when I tell you that I found a hammock I can take hiking with me and it has a sloth logo on it. I freaking love sloths. I have joined some dating apps and before you say anything, I know, I'm really just looking for a friend. My emotions have been so confusing it's been hard to protect myself and I've been ghosted on all 3 of my dates. It almost sent me into another spiral on Sunday, so I had to do some serious re-evaluating. I am dead set on just friends. Not FWB or anything like that. Just friends. I just want someone to connect with. Someone who actually values me for who I am and the thoughts and feelings that I have. Something I never got from my wife in 7 years. A woman asked me out last night through one of the apps. She seems sweet. But I was really proud of myself when I told her that I wanted to wait a couple of weeks and get to know her more as friends before we do anything like that, which is the exact opposite I did with the other 3 dates. I even created a hard pass list where I will not get involved in a friendship with someone if they hit too many red flags. Even writing this, I know that it's still all a really bad idea, but I feel like this is something I need to do. Maybe in a year or 2, I will wish I did it differently, but for now, this is what I feel I need. It's felt really good to have people to talk to. Also, I wanted to address a lot of the comments about my daughter that people have made. This actually has bothered me. While I understand it, I do not like it. I want people to realize that this is still a child who was pulled into a very adult situation and she made some poor decisions. But I'm really happy to report that my relationship with my daughter is getting a lot better. She's showing a lot more affection toward me and understanding. We're growing again as a father and a daughter and I am so incredibly proud of who she is as a person. She's so freaking smart, beautiful, and mature that sometimes you just forget that she's only 14. We've had a lot of heart-to-heart talks and she really sees where I'm coming from. She understands the pain that I'm going through, and she's been showing me empathy for the first time in a long time. I've had numerous bad days since all of this happened and my daughter will sit next to me, ask me if I'm all right, and ask me if I would like a hug. I can't begin to tell you how much progress this is, guys. Please do me a favor and leave all negative comments about my daughter out of the comment section. I do know that I have brought her into a very public discussion, but she doesn't deserve your ire. She was a little girl who has been bullied every single year in elementary school because we had lived in a rich, preppy district and she didn't grow up with these kids. She's been physically attacked numerous times and the one person she was supposed to be able to go to for safety and support was her dad, and he couldn't control his own anger issues. She developed a distrust for men, and I don't blame her. She also lost her biological mother when she had abandoned her, and she really bonded with my soon-to-be ex-wife. A little girl needs her mother, and I'm glad, out of all of this, I was able to find one that she loves. If I did anything right out of all of this, it was that. Also, my soon-to-be ex-wife has really taken ownership of all of her BS. She has admitted that everything, and I mean everything she has done was wrong. I wish I could go into enough detail for you guys to understand where she's coming from. There are some serious issues there that I won't go into that have caused her to act this way, and I hope she's able to find happiness one day. And finally, I want to let you all know that my anger issues have greatly improved. They've actually improved over the last 7 months, but since everything has happened, I have felt less stressed. I've known for a while this relationship was ending and the stress from knowing has been removed and it just feels better. I'm working on it every single day, but I feel that I'm a much happier, pleasant person to be around. Someone who my boys can look up to and be proud to call dad. Thank you, fellow Redditors. I have appreciated the support. I have appreciated the empathy. I have appreciated you reading my story. I didn't think I'd find a community here that I'd respect more after I shared everything, but you all have really surprised me and I'm grateful. This probably won't be the last of me here, but thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Update. Bonus Part 5. My stress levels are too high. I'm not doing well today. I'll try to keep this short, but I'm not doing well. I can't help but absolutely hate my soon-to-be ex-wife and lash out at absolutely everything she says or does. I can't help but feel my stomach acid boiling when I know she's spending time with the guy she cheated with. She absolutely deserves all 100% of what I give her, but even when I say or do things that are justified, I feel sick to my stomach with anxiety for the rest of the day. For clarification, I've started drawing boundaries. I'm struggling with how I feel about it, but I know it's necessary. Things with my daughter have been getting a lot better. I can even see her start to pull away a tiny bit from my soon-to-be ex-wife. She still loves her and sees her as a mother figure though, which is fine. I did figure though that she'd not want to spend as much time with her as she originally planned. She would have to sleep on the couch of a small apartment, and she likes her own space, typical teenager, and her brothers are loud, which gives her anxiety. One difficult thing with my daughter recently is that she wants to legally change her name. She said she has never felt a connection with her name, and her friends started calling her by a name she prefers much better. The thing is, I chose her name very specifically. I love her name. Both her first and middle names play off each other very well. Also, I just found out that I will most likely be getting laid off from work. This is hitting me the hardest. My soon-to-be ex-wife and I work for the same company. We never have to interact. I got to keep the house since I make more, but going from 2 incomes down to 1, then maybe down to 0 is stressing me out. I know I shouldn't worry about what ifs because I may get to keep my job and I worried about nothing, but it's absolutely impossible not to worry right now. The ex and I have not met with the mediator for our divorce yet next week, and if I lose my job, then who's to say she doesn't work harder to get more out of the divorce? Including time with the kids. Her job is pretty safe, but mine may most likely get sacked. Where's the cosmic balance where the cheating spouse is the one whose life gets flipped upside down? Why do I have to continue to be the proverbial punching bag? I'm an applications business analyst for a hospital, and I always thought my job was pretty safe until COVID happened. I was going to retire here. Today is also the first day I won't have my boys for a couple of days. They officially start staying over at their mom's house. We're doing a 2-2-3 schedule since they're young. I know I'll get used to having an empty, quiet house, but right now I don't like it. I don't want it. I want my crazies. I want to see my youngest grab his baseball bat as soon as I sit down and ask for me to throw him a ball so he can whack it. I want to see my oldest boy grab all of his blankets from his room and wrap himself up and roll around on the floor yelling, "I'm a burrito." And finally, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people are okay being by themselves. I was alone, lonely the last 3 years of my marriage, which is a different kind of being alone, but I so very much want someone I can connect with. Someone I can be attracted to and who is attracted to me. Why does the time to heal have to start on D-Day? I've had 30 different days where I've felt things were over. I've been working on myself very hard. I've been taking care of my health and working out a lot, and I feel great, and just want someone to connect with in person. One of the hardest things to be when going through a toxic marriage, divorce, is being a strong empath. This shite sucks. Thank you so very much for listening. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe.